everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing well and enjoying your December so far. It has I'm ready for the snow. We got a little bit on overnight on December 1st. It was like early in the morning, it's like 3 a.m. or so. So we woke up to about that much. Love a dusting. But then again, then the sun comes out, so but I'm ready for snow. We're supposed to be getting some Wednesday and Thursday. And the reason why I think I'm ready for snow, I mean, I've always loved snow. Don't get me wrong, I love snow, but I never really thought about why. Now, there's the obvious. It's beautiful. The sparkles in the sun when the sun comes out. Just that, that winter wonderland beauty that we all see when we see like photos of snowy places or whatever, especially out in the country, and the trees are all covered and all of that stuff, right? And like in my journal, I used this photo of a little cabin in the woods, and I'm like, I live in the cabin. I love when it's covered in snow. I love that whole feel. And I've always loved snow. I love this time of year. Now, this time of year, the fall, was probably my favorite time of year. I like the cooler weather. And a lot of it was because I was always hot. All the time I was hot. Let me see. I better not cover that because I have my headphone on. I was always hot all the time. So, like, I really like this time of year. Now that I've lost a lot of weight and just aging, the whole thing, I'm always cold now, but I still prefer to be cold over hot. So I know that's part of why I like this time of year. But one thing that came up in my morning pages, and I just wanted to address this because I think it's part of my process, part of my healing process, part of what, the words of the month that I've had rest was I think it was in October. Restore was in November. I'm not sure what's this month yet. I'm waiting to, and kind of praying and waiting on God to kind of show me where I need to put my focus for the month. Now, the one thing that like kind of has come to mind a little bit is peace, and so that may be the word of the month. We'll see. But one thing I do know, and one thing that has been on my heart for years, recent years, is be still. Be still and know, right? Be still and know that He is God. Let Him have control. Surrender to Him. Trust Him. And so that's been a big thing, slow down, be still, calm down, and it's funny because it's this morning, well, as of recording this, it's December 1st. It will be up on December 2nd. So this morning in the snow, I went out in my boots, my what are they, Baby Phat Justin's, whatever they are. I went out because it's snow on the ground, right? And I turned around. I wasn't even going that fast necessarily, but I turned around and I almost slipped and fell. I haven't had a fall in a while, and I'm like, please no. So when I come in, I tell my husband, I almost fell, and he's like, I don't know part of the whole conversation, but the one thing that stood out to me was he's like, you need to slow down. And I was like, but I wasn't even going fast. And he said, I don't mean just slow down physically. You need to slow down mentally. And I was like, what? He's like, because I know you're thinking, I need to do this, I need to do that. So you're turning, it's not that, maybe you're not even realizing how fast you're going, but you're like doing something and you're thinking of the next thing that needs to be done. So you turn around and you need to get there, and I'm like, what? It like, clicked. It was like, yeah, that is what I'm doing, right? And that's kind of what I'm trying to work on. And so I was writing this, I believe, prior to all of that happening. And what I was writing down was how much, I love the snow. And the one thing that I wrote down was, it is so beautiful and calming. It quiets down the earth and my soul. So these are the reasons why I love the snow, right? Plus it's like allergy season may be over for me once it calms down, all of that stuff, right? But one thing that I realized, it just hit me that one of the main reasons that I think I really loved this time of year, and I never like completely realized it, was because it forces me to slow down. The one thing I do not know how to relax, I don't know how to rest, I don't know how to, like, whatever, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, all of the above at the same time, this time of year forces that slowdown because, well, it's colder, right? So you're more comfy, cozy, you want to stay home more. You're having, you might have tea more often. Soups, these are slow things, these are nourishing things, right? And the snow comes when we get snow, and that just, like, I can't drive in the snow. I mean, I can, but where we live at right now, like, everything I have to do is 20 minutes in one direction or 40 minutes in another direction on the interstate. Now, for sure, the 20 minutes to Santa Fe, that area, the Glorieta Pass, if you're from New Mexico or if you've ever been here and you've heard about it, that place gets really sketchy in the snow. It's not a place you want to drive through if you can avoid it during snow. Now, going to my hometown of Vegas, it can get bad out there. If it's really snowing bad, it can get bad. There's just certain spots that are, worse than others or whatever. But it's thinking like, well, like today, for instance, we woke up to a little bit of snow. The roads were fine and everything, but it's so cold. And I had therapy. I also had acupuncture, but I rescheduled that one because I wasn't going to make it by 9 o'clock. And then I thought, well, I could wait a little bit. I can leave by 10, a little after 10, a little before 10, and I can make it to therapy at 11. And so I kept thinking, I don't know. I could do it online, over the phone or whatever. But I always feel like I have to be on the go. And Graham's jumping over here. I don't know. He's dreaming, I guess. But I just, if it were me, even though I'm feeling like, no, stay home, Chrissy, stay home, I would probably get up and go anyway, because I feel bad. I should go. I should be there in person and, whatever. And so I kind of, like, I brought it up to my husband. I talked to my dad on the phone, and both of them said the same thing. If you can do it at home, why are you wanting to travel? And I'm like, I don't know. And I kept thinking, I could just sit home on my comfy bed at my desk with a fire going, with Graham right next to me, and just do it here from the comfort of my own home. So that's what I did. And that's what made me, remember what I was writing. I'm forced to slow down. Sometimes I need to be forced to slow down. And I need to be reminded that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to just be and let things just be the way they are sometimes. Sometimes you just need to let it go. And so I wrote down there, like, letting go is good for me. Letting go of the idea of control, because it's not like we're in control very much. And I talked about this in therapy, that because of my struggle with wanting to control, so, like, this goes along with the codependence, this goes along with all of that, it was so automatic for me to get in the driver's seat of the car. And so, okay, prior to that, I was, thinking about and talking to God about what are some things that I need to let go of? Where can I start to make so that it's not a big, huge thing, so it's not overwhelming, but something that I can let go of this idea of control of, and start this process of de-stressing myself. Start this process of allowing somebody else to help me. And I'm like, okay, how do I do this? So I talked to my husband one day, and excuse me. I don't know exactly what we were talking about. I'm like, I said something about um making sure that he would drive home wherever went, that day, because in the afternoons I get tired. I don't know why lately it's been even worse. By like 3 o'clock, I'm tired, and I know when I'm tired I make mistakes. And I know that he's kind of noticed that there's like certain things like I either not that I don't know if like I can't explain something correctly. I miss a turn, or I like forget where I'm going because I'm tired, and I'm like my mind's just going, but I'm tired enough that I can't like process everything, right? And so I told him, okay, so this was, I think this earlier this month. I said, okay, well, I'll drive wherever we're going because I like to drive, right? I do like to drive, and then you can drive us home. Like that'll lessen some of the stress, right? And I started noticing like I like this. I like this idea of just not having to stress about being on the interstate, not having to stress about driving in the city, and all of that stuff, right? And especially like the time on the interstate when I'm tired. It is only 20 minutes or so home, but when I go to my hometown, it's like 40 minutes. And if I'm tired, it's like, ugh. And then it gets darker earlier, and all that. So anyway, more recently, in like the last week or so, I've just been like not even doing the automatic get in the driver's seat. I'm just like, he could drive over there, he could drive us back. So like we took his mom on Monday. Well, Saturday we also went, 'cause I had to do some things on Saturday. He drives over there. We go to the skate park. He gets down. Then I'll drive where I need to go. And normally what I've been noticing is like I try to like not do a whole lot of stuff. I'll go to the bookstore. And then if I have to go to the store or do other things, then I make sure that I wait till we're done with whatever we're doing, and I pick him up at skate park, and then I have him take me to the store. And I used to always just do everything on my own because I thought I had to. I'm like, I could just do it. Why not? Why not do it on my own? I can go here. I can go there. I could do it all. And, but you know what I noticed is just allowing this much, asking for this kind of help has helped me humble myself, because I still don't like to ask for help. And just like the idea of not having to drive all the time has helped me to like be less stressed out. Like I notice I can be more calm. And then what's cool is I put on a book in the car. So we've been listening to This Present Darkness. We had just finished, like I've talked about before, Hind's Feet and Hind's Places. So we only listen to the book in the car. So only when we're together. So that means that it's on the drive over to Santa Fe or on the drive to Las Vegas, on the drive home from either place. And then if we're like going to the store and stuff like that, which only takes like a few minutes, so we just listen, it's like bits and pieces, so it takes us a little longer to read the book or listen to the book, but that's okay. It's like I can sit here and just listen and watch this whole thing play out in my head, right? And it slows me down as well, because like I'm used to reading books fast. It's like almost like I'm skimming through the book, and then it's like, well, I kind of remember it, but see, I've read this book before, This Present Darkness. I had read Hind's Feet and Hind's Places. I've read that one twice, actually. This Present Darkness, I think I only read once, but I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I don't remember that. Like I remember it, but not really. And it's like, well, probably because I read it so fast that I just like forgot. Like, I like this idea of audiobooks in the car while we're driving, and while he's driving, and I could just listen to the story. It's like, being the little passenger princess and getting my coffee and like, whatever. And it's just been such a wonderful experience. And, I think like now I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I wait like 47 years? Okay, not 47 years, but that's how old I am. More like 20, almost 24 years, 23 and some. Like, we'll be married 24 years in February. And I'm finally letting go of some things. And there's all sorts of like different doctors talking about this. I watched one not too long ago. I can't remember his name. I could see him, but I can't remember his name. But he talked about how we women are not built for like the stresses that men are built for. We're not built for like the same type of physical physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress. Yet the world that we live in, we as the human race have created some stressors that we don't need. Plus, it's Satan at his best, right? Or his worst, I should say. But he's, it's partially that as well. And so we're more stressed, we're more sick, we're more of all these things because of it. And I know for me, I wanted to control everything. Well, I'll do this. I'll take care of that. I'll make sure that we know we can find this, or if we need this, I'll do that. I'll take care of this. I'll take care of everything. I don't need to. See, and then we do this thing where we want to take control of everything, and then we're sick, and like, perfect example, stressed out, sick, and now I can't do it all, but I still want to do it all because that's what the world says. Because I don't know, we're supposed to like do everything because that's what we do. I don't know. But I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why am I taking away, like, I'm stealing from my husband the role that he was given by God to play in our marriage, to play in our lives or whatever, right? Because I'm trying to control everything. And it's like, it finally hit me, like, what are you doing? Let him do his thing. You do your thing. And we can work, like, every couple has their things, right? We all do our things. We know where our strengths are, I should say. So there you go. You know how you guys need to do this marriage, your marriage, and we need to do ours. But I was trying to control everything, and I'm like, why am I not just letting him do the things that I know I don't want to do anymore, or that I'm not able to do anymore and I still want to do? Or why can't I just ask for help and not try to do everything myself? And it's helped a lot because it's taken a lot of the stress, plus that whole like bitterness of, why don't people just help me? Well, you're not asking, and then when you do ask, you don't let them because you're like, oh, I'll just do it myself, I'll do it faster, that thing. Yeah. So I'm learning to slow down. I'm learning to let go a little bit here and there. So first thing for me was the driving thing, because I knew that even, mentally, physically, I needed to let go of that a little bit, at least somewhat, because I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to cause wrecks. I don't want to cause this and that when I'm tired. And I know that happens when I'm tired. I kind of misstep. I like just have a problem when I'm tired. And so I need to know that. Like, I needed to own up to that part of myself and not be like, well, I could do it. It's fine. I'm just a little tired. It's like saying I'm just a little drunk and I can still drive. It's that same kind of thing. We still want the control instead of just letting somebody do it for us. And being grateful that we have some, like, I have a husband that can do these things for me. Not everybody has somebody like that. I mean, or, you don't have, like, whatever, someone there that would take you places all the time when you need to go. Someone there to help you with things that you need help with. Like, someone there to help you put your shoes on when your back hurts. Like, today I had to put on leg warmers, and, like, my back and everything's in it because it's so cold. And, like, so he helps me with stuff like that. And it's like, not everybody has someone that would even help. Not everybody has someone to help them, and not everybody has someone that will help them. So I need to learn how to be grateful. I need to learn how to say, hey, can you help me? And let him help me. And then in all of that, just be grateful to God. Thank God, praise God for all these little blessings that and all these little lessons, these little convictions that he gives me every once in a while. I'm like, look, just the driving part, just that alone has taught me that I can let go. I can ask for help. I can let somebody take the reins and just be still. Because I know that when I start, like, stressing out and stuff, I start feeling sick. And I've been feeling that lately. I've been feeling very, like, just not well, tired, inflamed, and just, like, stuck and that, you know, and I know I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't have to be that way because, like I said, I have people who can help me, and it's a blessing, and I need to let them do it, because there's one thing, and I'll end this here, but one thing that my friend Margie told me years and years ago, I was telling her no for something that she was trying to do for me, and she said, you need to let people bless you, because when you say no and you don't allow them, you're stealing their blessing, because when people bless others, they get blessings in return. This is just how God works. And I'm trying to steal that blessing of just them being able to help me, and that joy that comes with helping other people. I'm stealing that from them just because I want to be a little brat, you know. And it was like kind of like a what, like that doesn't make sense, but it made sense after, you know, you stop and think about it. It makes sense. So, you know, I just want to put that out there. You know, you guys, be grateful for the people that you have that will help you. Make sure they know that you're grateful, and praise the Lord for that as well. Like, you know, write down these blessings that you have. Be grateful. Like, make them, you know, like remind yourself of all the little things that you can be grateful for, because there are so many who don't have the things that we do. There's you know, and there's some things that you have that I don't have, and some things, you know, that others have that we don't have. And like, we all need to be grateful for the little things that we do have, and the people we have to share them with, and all of the stuff, because one day we might not have it. And, you know, I see that in the loss that people have had, like my dad losing my mom. I'm like, that's a whole other kind of a situation where, like, you got to realize, like, I still have Ben, and I need to be grateful for that, and I need to allow him to do the things for me that he wants to do, and that I need him to do, and like, let him, and you know, let him be the person God called him to be, and be his supporter and all of that stuff. And I know I said I was going to end it a while ago, but I will end it there. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. And what do you guys like this time of year? What's your favorite season and why? Leave those in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you. Bye.